Good afternoon. My name is, as Mr. Busek said, Carsten Forlager, and I come here on behalf of Danske Commodities, which is an energy trading company that is operating all across Europe. And on behalf of Danske Commodities, first of all, I would like to say that we're pleased to be given the opportunity to come here to speak today. And basically, to give you a little brief introduction to what we're about. The company was founded in 2004 in Denmark, started trading electricity just between the borders of Denmark and Germany, and has since evolved to trade in 30 countries, more than 30 countries across Europe, and last year had a revenue of 2.5 billion euros. So quite a rapid expansion, and this expansion has been made possible mainly due to the fact that it's a very innovative company that is constantly addressing the challenges on the European energy markets. And today, one of the innovative projects that we are involved in is what we call Demand Response 2.0, and it is basically about shifting electricity consumption into the times of the day where the electricity prices are low, simply to save costs. And we believe there's a huge potential in doing so. But before going into detail, I would like to zoom out and put this into perspective. As you might know, the energy trilemma has been a big part of the political agenda, as well as a topic that is very discussed for companies across Europe. It involves climate change, security of supply, and the competitiveness of these companies, and the balance between those three dimensions. And basically what we've seen over the past few years is that a lot of renewable generation has been deployed. This has had the effect on the electricity markets that electricity generation has become a lot more unpredictable, and therefore a lot of investments have been undertaken in order to secure supply, so that in hours where the weather is not in line with, for example, wind turbines, so the wind speeds are low and therefore the production is low, we have reserve capacity to kick in. And also on the other hand, when there's a lot of production, there is some flexibility to limit the demand simply, or increase the demand simply to take off the power that is being generated. This comes at a huge cost for European energy markets, and it's necessary in order to cope with these fluctuating sources of generation. The cost of investing in renewable energy and the cost of investing in security of supply has been canalized towards end users and therefore companies which have paid with their competitiveness towards the rest of the world. So basically what we see is there's a challenge in Europe that the increasing amount of renewable energy is basically increasing the costs for the end users, meaning the companies, but it also creates an opportunity, because with renewables comes fluctuations in prices. There's a lot of price movements because with renewable sources the price is very, very weather dependent, and therefore there's an opportunity to simply shift electricity consumption into those hours where prices are lower. And as of today, most companies are not utilizing this opportunity. Demand Response 2.0 is basically about unleashing an untapped potential of a range of companies that are not utilizing this opportunity at the moment. In order to explain the concept, we need to look at the general electricity market And each day of the year, there is a forecast of the price for the following day. This forecasted price is based upon, for example, the weather forecasts, because they greatly drive the prices. It is with more renewables, it becomes more and more of a significant price driver. So if you take a look at the graph, when prices are lower, it is mainly due to the fact that renewable generation is big, that there's a lot of wind, a lot of solar, so that cheap energy is produced, and this forces the prices to go down. This is an opportunity for companies, and some companies are already trying to take advantage of this in scheduling their consumption at those times of the day where the prices are lower. However, the forecasted price is not always, it is actually never, equal to the actual price that will come on that specific day. Remember that the forecasted price is forecasted the day in advance. So the actual price will many times deviate from the forecasted price, and all of a sudden this scheduled consumption is not placed at the right time of the day. This makes this problematic, and it stresses the energy grid, because the prices are actually trying to express when the system needs help. Therefore, moving consumption to times where the prices are lower will actually help the system. This is the opportunity that we are proposing, that we reschedule consumption on the day of consumption, on the intraday market, not the day before. Because with renewables, these prices change up until just before actual consumption. And there's a lot of opportunity to help the system, and there's a lot of opportunity to reduce cost, because the system is actually paying for companies trying to help it. Traditional demand response is based on these principles, but it's not open to a lot of companies because of its strict requirements. The strict requirements being that, for example, it has to be very, very large amounts of flexibility that the consumers provide, so they have to be able to switch their consumption up and down in very large amounts. So that already excludes a lot of companies from doing this. And then on top of this, and being the strictest requirement, is that they have to be able to do this at a very short notice. So within 15 minutes, within 5 minutes or so, and that basically excludes the vast majority of companies all across Europe. They're simply not able to regulate their processes at such a short notice. We would like to include, just based on the system as it is today, we don't need smart meters, we don't need any additional grid developments or any capacity investments. We just need to integrate the knowledge about processes with the knowledge about market prices and matching those two. And then we can unleash all of this potential there is in actually shifting consumption to those times of the day where the prices are lower. It's as simple as that. And this is not utilized today. So to get back to the initial point, where we started out, and a little perspective, this concept addresses all of the three main pillars of the energy trilemma in a positive way. It increases the effective use of renewable energy, since companies are moving their electricity consumption into the hours of the day where renewable generation is driving down the prices, so where it's in abundance, and it's shifting away consumption from those hours of the day where the generation of electricity is actually produced by standard capacity, conventional capacity, such as coal, oil and gas, and therefore we get climate benefits Also, it benefits the grid as it takes off the stress of the grid in peak, under peak stress, so that, for example, if there are a lot of wind, then prices will become negative. This is the system saying we need to offtake all of this power. This has happened a lot in Germany, for instance, and by shifting consumption to those hours, actually getting paid to consume power will help take the stress off the grid instead of basically losing power. It will also increase competitiveness for the companies involved, meaning reduced costs, a greener profile, and eventually, as we hope, a better competitiveness will lead to job creation. And to learn more, please visit our website. We're always open to answer any questions, and please spread the word about utilizing the flexibility that is already there, simply by shifting electricity consumption into the hours of the day where the prices are lower. Thank you for your questions. Mr. Werner, Ms. Werner, to first address your questions. How much are you able to save on this concept you asked? And I must really say it's very, very difficult to come up with an actual number for this. First of all, it is still on a conceptual basis. Second of all, it depends on the specific industry that is participating in this. So the more flexibility the company that is going into this is willing to play around with, to shift around with, the more money there is to be made, and also the more rapid that it can shift, the better it is. The thing is, right now it's not being utilized, and there is a great potential in it. Our initial calculations say that companies in the energy-intensive industries have approximately 5 to 10% of cost reductions on their electricity bills to save, and this is what I can come up with now. But it very much depends on the individual company. Then you said, how much is it used today? I must stress the fact that demand response is used, but the concept that I proposed is not being utilized yet, simply because the markets are not used to a world where renewables are making the prices fluctuate a lot. This is a new tendency, and therefore the market hasn't adjusted yet. So I hope this answers your questions. To you, thank you very much for your question. It's a very good question. You asked about what kind of political conditions are hindering the spread out of this concept and why it's not more used. One of the main things that is, so to speak, a requirement for this to work is an efficient market, meaning that you have to be able to trade during the hours of the day on the intraday market. Still, there are a lot of countries who do not have such markets, but they are being developed because with renewables comes a great need to be flexible. There comes a great need for adjusting to basically secure supply. So in more developed markets, this is a possibility. In less developed markets, it is not, as of yet, but it will be. In all of the world, this will be an issue that needs to be addressed, and this is a solution. So a well-functioning intraday market and, of course, liquidity, meaning trading activity, is key. If we have an integrated market, this nurtures trading and this nurtures efficiency, and then we can really optimize on these using this concept. I hope this answers your question. Then you had a comment over here saying that you believe that it would be very difficult for SMEs to actually apply this, and I agree that it's at least very difficult to get the SMEs used to the thought of not only thinking about reducing their energy consumption, but also thinking about their actual flexibility. But the case is, right now we are seeing in the more modern energy markets, for example Germany, where we see a lot of renewables, we're actually experiencing that prices go from very, very high levels to become negative at prices. This is a clear indication of an inefficient market that needs help, and this is caused by renewables. So this is something that all of EU can anticipate will be present in all of the countries as they get renewables. And when there's negative prices, that simply means that you get paid to consume electricity in those hours. That means there's something to get. There will be a lot of companies willing to switch their consumption to these hours of the day, or just part of their consumption, when this starts becoming a more general way of optimizing production. But of course, this doesn't happen overnight. We need to think in these terms and integrate the energy markets with the production processes, or just the process industries in general. I hope this answers your question. Then you also asked, how can you utilize surplus energy? And this is exactly what I mean. When the wind turbines in Germany are spinning at maximum capacity, prices go negative. There's a surplus of energy, and we actually risk a blackout if this power is not being taken out of the market, meaning consumed, or if wind turbines are actually shut down. We also saw this in Denmark on, I think it was June 12th this year, that wind turbines actually produced 140% of the demand for that day. And this means that prices go negative. The system is in need of consumers to off-take power, and therefore we just suggest that the consumers act in a flexible way and try to shift as much consumption to those hours where the prices are negative. Lastly, you asked Mr. Busek about our opinion of smart meters, as I understood it.
Smart meters.
Smart meters, yeah. And this is used, for example, in traditional demand response, and we greatly appreciate this, and we think it's a step in the right direction. However, we simply propose that you utilize a lot of the remaining unused flexibility that is present in the system, which is aside from smart meters. But smart meters is also a very, very good initiative. Finally, I just would like to remark that with the trend we're seeing with more renewables, the need for flexibility and the need for utilizing flexibility is just getting bigger and bigger. So this concept will just increase in value over time, and I think it's important to look in this direction. Thank you.